Hello, Pluckers. A little bit of a different intro to an episode that you're used to. Now, welcome to episode 3 of What the Pluck's Beauty School. I just wanted to pop on because you might have seen yesterday the news on Instagram and TikTok. Both myself and George are opening a salon. And just all the emotions. We've been working on it for like the past year. And then yesterday it got announced and I feel like it's out there now in the world and it's just a whole nother level of scary. Before it was just us that knew. And it was exciting. But now everybody knows. I'm like, ugh. So with that being said, you might have noticed episode 1 and episode 2 have been a little bit choppy when it comes to editing. And that is because when we recorded the beginning of the season, I thought that I would be in the salon renovating. Now, planning permission held us up. So I've had to cut out sections where we're talking about the salon, or I'll reference the salon and I'll be like, oh yeah, I was in the salon decorating. I've had to chop it all out because otherwise it would have given it away because we'd not announced it. Oh, drama. So it's finally announced, it's finally out there. If you want to follow along and see the journey, because obviously the content creator in me is going to take you guys along for the ride and show you everything. Then do follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Ours Creative Studio. There'll be so much fun stuff on there, so be sure to follow. And then I'm going to share with you now a clip from episode 1 where we were talking about the salon, and that was the first time I'd spoke about it on the pod. Obviously I had to cut it out, but I wanted to put it in at the beginning of this episode because I really wanted to share it all with you guys. And then we'll be straight into episode 3. So after this clip, you will get your weekly dose of What the Pluck's Beauty School. Don't worry, it's not me just rabbiting on this episode. I just wanted to add this in. So yeah, enjoy the episode. And talking of running a business.
Congratulations, my love. Yes! Let's give it up. If you've not seen on social already, Jamie has joined the cult and he is now a salon owner.
Yes.
This has been manifested for so long that last summer I took a photograph of Jamie and George outside that salon on my phone.
Yeah.
I took a photograph of it and it were empty and it weren't a salon and it had not been a salon either. Yeah. We took a photograph outside that building of them pointing up it and they were like, we're manifesting this, we'll have it.
That's where we're going to be.
And guess what?
We've got We've got it.
So if I'm giving anybody any advice, go next to any good looking man and just have a photograph taken next to him. And think, that might be mine one day. Just kidding, don't bother doing that.
But yeah, what a bleeding crazy long. All the times when you've heard me on the podcast last season been like, yeah, I'm just really busy.
This is what you were busy doing.
I couldn't say Well, I couldn't say I didn't want to say I've not really told anybody. Family, 1 or 2 friends know.
Me.
Until it was done. Well, not done, but until it was announced, we had the keys, the lease, renovations had started.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't have done it any other way.
No, because I think the more people that know about an idea that you're going to do, sometimes there's a lot more people that can like put you off things and say, oh, what about this though? What about that? I feel like in general, like English people, we're like that anyway. Yeah. We're quite doubting. My mum calls them doubting Thomases. I don't know what that means. But like we just doubt things. So we're a little bit like, oh yeah, but what if this happens? Yeah, but what if it doesn't?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Like we always try and naturally, as we do try and see like the bad sides of it. So I think it's been great that you've kept it to yourself.
Like
and
you've not even known everything.
No, I haven't.
Which she's livid about.
No, I have not known everything. But then when I've found out that I've not known anything, I have picked his brains until he's told me. So I have known everything in the end.
Yeah, I just think you can get too sidetracked and like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not a very traditional salon. The way it looks, the name, everything. It's just a bit...
Yeah.
Like, it's very me, very George. But I know that if I'd have been saying to people, I'm going to call it Ours, they'd have been like, what?
Yeah, but you thought this. You said to me, like, I know you'll not like it, but I'm going to... And I was like, I don't not like it. I don't think. Oh my God, that's absolutely awful. I think it's a good name. It's a personal name to you two, and choosing a name for a salon or whatever is so hard, and for a business, because it's that you've got to stick with.
Yeah.
Ours is called Harley's because it originally was my mum's salon, and it's the first 3 letters of my name and the last 3 letters of my sister's, Keely. So it's put together, which I'm happy to keep that on. I'm happy to keep that going. So I think names for salons and businesses and stuff, they do have to mean something to you. And I like that it's not self-explanatory. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, I'm not even going to say anything because there'll be somebody out there with a name. I'm not even going to say. But it's not like self-explanatory. So you wouldn't really know. That could be like a bar. It could be like a hotel. It could be like whatever. So you don't, same with like Harley's. You don't really know what it is. So it's going to have to like kind of make a name for itself, which I'm absolutely 100% sure that it will. So congratulations.
Thank you, hon.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll be sharing more along the way. But
Of the openings and things like that, yeah.
the work continues.
It does. And the work will always continue.
Yeah.
Now you're a salon owner. So you know when you're telling me, when he's saying to me, I mean, I'm not being funny, but your work hours are ridiculous. You're working till 9:30 at night. You're working 9 while 9:30 at night. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now I can say, do you know what I mean now? Do you know what I mean? We are back. Welcome back to episode 3 of your What the Pluck Beauty School. And we hope you are enjoying it so far. Happy New Year, even though we're well into it now.
Well into New Year,
Happy
Feliz
New Year.
Navidad, all of
I
that.
was just going to say Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, it's all just been as we record. Excuse me.
If anybody's watching on YouTube, we have got a little... They always say don't work with... Is it children and live animals?
Yeah.
We definitely don't work with children, but we do work with live animals.
All the time.
And
We've
we have
our
got
little
one
Noah today.
right here with us, yeah.
Blanco's got face on in his bed, just off camera.
Yeah, but we don't know how long this situation with having the dogs here will last. But we'll see.
But yeah, time of recording, all of that has just been and gone. We're banging to New Year, and it's just, do you know, like...
I'm doing a big yawn.
It's just 2025 is giving 2025.
Wow. Get it, girl.
That is the energy
2020 thrive
that we're bringing in. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
We're taking no shit. We're taking no prisoners. We're here to thrive.
There's going to be in this beauty school, there's going to be several detentions given out to people who are not listening.
Yeah.
And who are not, bringing anything to our lives.
Pulling the weight.
Absolutely.
But today, before I tell you what we're doing today, shout out to our sponsor, Buff.
Oh, yes. Massive shout out to Buff. Buff Brows for sponsoring us yet again for another season. Thank you to Buff. If you do not know anything about Buff Brows, are you even in this industry? Are you even in it? Are you even doing brows? Head on over to their socials and you will find everything you basically need to do a set of brows.
Yeah.
And
they do lashes now as well.
Lashes, yes, they do.
Lashes, lash lift, and...
lamination,
Go on.
Henna?
Hybrid.
Yeah,
hybrid. On their website, they carry a lot of different brands as well. So yeah, head on over and check them out. So today's episode is going to be all about setting your service prices. We have done an episode similar to this before, but we've done a bit more research. We're in 2025. We've got some facts, figures, and we're basically going to get your prices in order.
Yeah, so if you have been following our little beauty school so far, last week we talked all about bookkeeping and how important it were to make sure you are keeping your books and your accounts in check and keep on top of that. This week we're learning all about them prices and setting them, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because did you know, and this is a fact, 60% of small businesses undercharge. They undercharge for their services and the treatments, etc. Because as we all know, and we go on about it all the time, the cost of everything in life in general
gone up.
is gone up. So when I were laid in bed with Jamie this morning, not because we're a couple, but just because we stayed in the same bed last night, I told him it was freezing, and he turned over in the middle of the night and said to me, well, cost of living has gone up, so I'm not putting the heating on.
About 3 o'clock, she wants a bit of eating. I was like, she'll be asleep in 10 minutes. I was like, absolutely not.
Like, it's freezing, Jamie. And he was like, well, cost of living's gone up. Get your head back down. You'll be fine.
She was like, we can have a froth at top of me. I was like, no.
So if you are a client of Jamie's and you come to us and he's got 50p added on to every single one of his treatments, you know why. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, 60% of businesses do undercharge. And I think that is also a little bit of fear to change your prices.
You undercharge for brow lamination.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to out you. We can't be telling these guys this and other.
Right.
And you're sat there undercharging.
Right. Jamie thinks I undercharge because I charge less than him. So I'm going to have to say that I'm undercharging. So all you clients out there that are thinking, wow, does she really undercharge for brow lamination? Yes, I do.
And
yes,
you know when it goes up, you're welcome. But yeah, it is. And I think sometimes I did it before when I, with HD, I think I charged like 27 or 28.
Yeah. And I told you, I pulled
years,
you up on that.
And I was like, well, it just, yeah.
I remember pulling you up on that, and now you've pulled me up on brow lamination. But I remember pulling you up on that and being like, you only charge 27 quid for HD brows. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, but you're an elite. You've been a trainer. You can charge, I've charged £30.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it is, important, and we always say this, to try and have a look at like the prices around you in your area as well. Do a little bit of like secret shopping. You remember them secret shoppers? They were good then, weren't they? So do a little bit of secret shopping and see what you can, without being too sneaky, but see what the prices are around you in general. Yeah. And then obviously work out your prices and let's see where we're going with it.
But with like pricing, you need to think, or you might be thinking like, why does it matter? Mm-hmm. Like if I'm comfortable charging a little 27 quid or whatever it is, you need to be like thinking, but why does it matter?
Yeah.
So undervaluing hurts everyone. So it can, it's going to hurt your personal income, the business growth, as well as like industry standards. Mm-hmm. So what you don't want to do is stick to the prices that you charged maybe 2 or 3 years into qualifying. When we're 6 years down that line now. And
not only that, you're cheapening that whole like experience, you're cheapening that service, you're cheapening that brand really, and you're cheapening your own brand, because we've said before, as you work in, self-employed, or if you're working in a salon or whatever, you are your own brand, aren't you? You are.
So you've got to think of yourself as a brand,
and you're cheapening it.
Yeah, but also like the industry as a whole, like if everybody's charging lower prices for nails, for example, then the whole industry becomes this bit of a throwaway industry because you can get it done for 20 quid. And
it's like, I think this also like goes into like hair as well, because if you saw somebody who had amazing social media, a massive, like amazing surroundings where they worked, they used the best products, and the work that they were throwing out were shit hot, if you then went to them and they had a really low price, you'd think, what's the catch here?
Yeah, what's
that? You automatically expect like premium prices, don't you? You look at them and think, yeah. But that also, I sometimes think, somebody gave me a little bit, I know I'm going a bit off topic now, but somebody gave me a little bit of a tip, and they said to me, do you charge any extra in your salon for it being you that does it? Because obviously I've got, numerous girls working for me, etc. So, and I said, no, we all charge the same. And he were like, why? Mm-hmm. You own this, like you, without sounding awful, if it's your own salon or you are self-employed, you've got to be the top price. So you can have different options for different people, but it also makes people think, well, if I want my brows done and they're a bit scared about having them done, or they're scared about having a treatment, aesthetics, whatever, they're going to look at that price range and think, I want her or I want him because he is the most expensive. That means he must be good.
People, they put like a higher price with like, oh, they must be good.
Yeah.
And
I
sometimes
would.
they're not.
No, they're not.
But-
They're not. But if I were having something like microblading done, etc., or lip blush, where obviously you're getting semi-permanent lip tattoo or whatever, it's on your face, and brows is a massive. I think anything that's on your face, any treatment-wise, is a massive thing with that. If I were given an option of prices, I would look and think, well, I want to look good, and this is on my face, so I want that one.
Yeah, you wouldn't spend like, 100 quid to get your brows microbladed. No way.
And there is places that charge it. So please, I always say, pay cheap, pay twice.
Like,
Because you'll end up having to have them done again somewhere else.
think how Harriet's just explained it. What would you go for if you were going somewhere?
Yeah.
Like, if you charge £100 for microblading now,
Yeah.
you've got to think, would you pay that?
Yeah.
Or would you question why it's so cheap?
Yeah.
And are you actually scaring clients away when you're trying to attract them?
Yeah, and I do think you will always get that percentage of clientele that'll be like, there is always a small minority that do want it cheap.
Yeah.
And that'll go to anybody. And there's some clients in this industry as well that are not loyal to you because they'll just go anywhere what's cheapest. That's fine. But if you want to attract the kind of clientele that are on the not higher end, but do you know what I mean? Like people who will pay prices for you, they'll not question when you up your prices. They'll not say, well, so-and-so can do it down the road for cheaper or anything like that. And they want to stick with you. And that's how you'll get your loyal clients as well, because they're not bothered what you charge. I could up my prices and my clients would be like,
all right.
Oh,
No?
well, yeah.
Oh,
They'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, yeah, all right. They might go, oh, bloody hell. And they might not come as much, but they'd still stick with me because they know that what I'm doing is good and what I'm doing, works for them.
Yeah. And I think as well, looking at like benefits of, I can never say this, strategic pricing.
Strategic pricing.
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to obviously ensure that you're covering the costs and ensure that you're making money.
Yeah.
Like,
that's all it's about.
And we've said this so many times, so I'm not going to harp on too much, but products have gone up, which means if you're charging the same, you're making less.
Yeah.
Your profit is less than it was before, and you're doing the same thing.
And that's all we want to get out of this. We need to remember as well, we are all in this, as awful as this sounds, we're all in it for money. Who goes to work for free or just enjoyment? We're all in it for the money. We've all got to, and the enjoyment that we get as well, but everybody needs to make money.
Yeah.
You're not going to make money if you are still charging them low prices and not moving with the times.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous to say, but I'm going to say it. Cost of a Freddo. If you don't know what a Freddo is, if you're not from UK, you might not know what a chocolate Freddo is.
It's a little frog.
It's a little chocolate frog, right? That you used to get when you were a kid and they used to be 10p. Now, what are they now? 35? 45? Something like that. Anyway.
And they're not even as big.
No, they're not. Well, no, I think that's because our hands are bigger now.
No, I've seen it online and they are
really?
smaller, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
crazy.
they put them next to each other.
But it's like that. You've got to move with the times.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've already said the next point, but like it's going to help you attract the right clients who value your work.
Definitely.
But by ensuring that, your prices are correct, you're making money, it allows for growth within your business. So whether that's like investing in a new laser machine or a new colour system or new tools or whatever it is, or even like taking the next step and hiring staff.
Yeah.
Like you need to have
even things like an online booking system that you've got to pay for monthly instead of having it in a diary.
Yeah.
Or whatever, things like that.
But we're going to talk to you now about how to calculate your prices. Aren't we?
Yeah.
And she's looking at me because I did this bit and she's thinking, I don't know. I don't know what he's written for this bit. So step one, you need to know your costs. Full stop.
Yeah.
And we're just going to take a moment for that to sink in.
You've got to.
Because if you don't know your costs,
But that's
then
your moment.
yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're absolutely screwed. So you want to break down fixed and variable costs. So your fixed is stuff obviously like your rent, your insurance, any subscriptions that you might have, any software, things that are obviously fixed. Like
Gas, electric,
they have to
all
be
that
paid.
stuff, yeah.
Your variable are like your products, your tools, utilities, disposable items. If cash flow's tight, you can cut down on. You don't need to hold 20 blue black tints because
Yeah.
you're never going to bloody use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't-
You don't
you-
need
you
to be
can-
ordering them every month.
You can have a month where you maybe don't do so much of a big stock order
Yeah.
because you've got some in salon
Yeah.
and cash flow's not been that great, so
Yeah.
you need to just pull back a bit. And then a little tip to track product usage per treatment. Like when you do your treatments, maybe just make a little list of every single thing that you use. Then you want to obviously find out the cost that you pay for each product that you're using. Obviously divide that by how many there is, and that'll give you your cost per
Yeah.
individual. And that in turn will then give you your cost per treatment. A lot of the brands, and we've said this before,
Yeah.
have it available ready for you. The issue with that in the 2025 is
I love how this just rolls off your tongue now.
is that not a lot of us are 100% brand loyal, and that's okay. That's how the
It's
times
fine.
are.
It's fine because there's some treatments that we've been trained in, and secretly behind the scenes we've been like, oh, I like this product better for this part of the treatment or whatever. Yeah.
So like I do HD brows, but I use
Saint and
Buff,
Serenity,
Saint and
Buff,
Serenity,
whatever, yeah.
HD.
Yeah.
So I can't just get a cost per treatment from HD because they're not factoring in like silk drops
Yeah.
or these different products. So
that
it
we
is down to us now as technicians and stylists to pretty much
Try and
figure it
do
out
it yourself,
ourselves.
yeah.
It is a bit of a ball ache and a long process.
We're not talking
But
down to the exact pence. We're
need
talking
to
like
do
a
it.
rough idea
Yeah.
of ideally what your cost per treatment roughly is.
And once you've got it on paper, like I would do it on a spreadsheet and have my little things.
Because he
You'd
loves
write
a
it down,
spreadsheet.
and it'll calculate it for me. But that's where you might do a treatment. You're going to sit down and calculate your cost. That's your challenge this week, guys, actually.
Right, we're going to set you
First
some
challenge.
homework.
First homework of
First
the
homework.
season.
Yeah.
I want you to, even if it's just one treatment, your
Yeah.
most popular treatment, sit and work out that cost per treatment.
Yeah.
Because when I've done it before, I've then looked at the figure and thought, shit, that actually, I mean, it's not a lot, but
I actually make quite a lot from it.
as well,
Yeah.
sometimes, that cost me a lot to do.
Yeah.
And that's
And I'm
because
not really making much profit from
I'm
it.
willy-nilly using 4 cotton buds
Yeah.
when I really only need 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm using X when
Yeah.
I only needed to use that. And that's pushing the price up and
Yeah.
that's affecting your profit.
Yeah. Even silly things like, cotton buds are obviously two-sided.
Yeah.
I only use one side of it and then I bin it. I've got another one on the other side. So I'm using twice as many. And I know
Yeah.
it's just little things like that. But really think about
But if that cotton
stuff that you're
bud's
using.
too big
Yeah.
and
You're just throwing money down the drain.
you're wasting like X pence per day,
Yeah.
5 days a week,
It all adds up.
and then you look at that figure at end of year,
I know it sounds like we're
you'll
being...
think twice.
Yeah, I know it sounds like we're being really stingy, but this is what's going to... I feel like this way of the world that we're living in now, thanks to the bloody government, we have to be stingy.
Yeah.
We have to watch as pennies and think, oh, God, I can't really, I shouldn't really have that beauty light. I've got a beauty room, right? My light's on 24/7 in my beauty
Ridiculous.
room. Am I working in my beauty room 24/7? No, because I'm in my brow chair.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I don't use it. Thankfully, I've got girls that'll just go and turn it off
Yeah.
without me. But to me, so it's just things like that, like being more conscious about things that you are charging and thinking, do I need that? Also, this might not be on this topic, but taking that stock check so you know what you've got to know how much stuff is in your salon to be able to then think, right, I'm not going to order that next month. I'm going to watch me.
You need to know what your assets are.
Absolutely.
How much have you got sat in stock?
Jamie's so anal about this stuff, right? And I can sit here and be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But I know sometimes in the back of my head, I'll be like, yeah, that cost me about 3-4 quid. Roughly. You're like, oh, 3, 4, 5 quid, whatever. I remember when I first did microblading training, and it was a massive, crazy profit we were making on that. Because on average, I'm not quite sure where... That's what my homework needs to be. I need to find out how much it is now. But at the time when we did the training years ago, it was £6 to do a full microblading treatment. What were we charging? 250?
Yeah.
250 quid, something like that. Crazy amount of profit.
But then, like, you're making that good profit and it costs you £6 back then.
Yeah.
If you are making a huge profit like that, that's when you can start looking at adding something else.
Yeah.
And you're taking away from your profit a little bit, but to make that experience and that treatment even better so that they're going to tell all their friends.
And so this is different.
The results are great.
Yeah.
So they're going to recommend you anyway. But what else for another £1 or £2 could you add on that's just going to add that little touch?
Yeah. Because it is also about the whole experience. Yeah. I think this is because we're in the industry as well. Though,
that's next week's episode.
Oh,
though.
okay. Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll shut up then.
Yeah. So we're going to... Next week's episode will be
Cut her off.
10 minutes. But you want to also factor in your time. Mm-hmm. And this, I feel like a lot of people don't do. You charge for the treatment and that's a price, but you don't always think about your time. I
will say this as well. When you've got staff that are in your salon and they're getting paid hourly or whatever, my mum has always been so anal with this. My mum will work out in her head how much the treatments cost, and then she'll work out how much their wages is and how long it takes them to do it. And then she'll be working out what the profit would be in their head and think, well, in that time, we could have done this and this and this. It's just savvy and business-minded. That's very something like what you would do.
Yeah.
So I think as well, like, when you're working out the time, per treatment it's costing you, what's the profit that you're making from the time as well, that's when you start thinking about your staff and that, and you think, that would have cost me whatever.
So, like, to calculate the cost of your time per hour, you want to include, like, wages, benefits, and a profit margin for yourself. Mm-hmm. So, an example here that we've got, if you aim to make £30 an hour, which I know is crazy, you want to be making more than that, but...
I was just going to say, is that all?
You're aiming to make £30 an hour, and a service takes 1.5 hours, you need to be charging £45 just for your time. That's, forget a treatment.
45 quid an hour? Can you imagine that?
Hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
45
quid for an hour and a half.
If you aim to make £30 an hour just for your time, and a service is going to take you an hour and a half, you need to charge £45 before you even add on anything for the treatment. Yeah. Because that £45 is what you're charging for your time. Yeah. Then you've obviously got, like, your treatment costs and product and all of that on top of that. But it is important to think, what do I want to earn an hour? Yeah.
And anything more than that, it's a bonus. It's a profit that you've made. Yeah. But it's all swings and roundabouts as well, because you might be sometimes making that and making a profit and thinking, bloody hell, I've earned a lot. But then other days you'll be quieter. Yeah. So it makes up for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And also your profit margins. So, like, an industry standard is to aim for at least 20 to 30% profit margin. So a little tip, then, a formula that you could use, you want to do the cost of the treatment plus the time. Then you're going to times it by 1, and then plus your desired profit margin, and that will give you your price. So you also want to check the market, and that's what you were on about earlier in regards to, like, what are people charging. So you want to look at, like, competitors, but don't race to the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about how you position yourself and your brand, and that's what you want to be looking at. So if you're offering, like, premium services, but then you are looking at somebody who charges 100 quid for microblading, that's 2 different lanes. Yeah. and both of them are lanes and valid lanes,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get the results and the data and the research that you want.
Yeah.
You need to be looking at people who are in your kind of genre.
League.
Yes.
That's really bitchy, but it's true.
No, it
Your
is.
league. Yeah. So the common like pitfalls and stuff like that, and the things and the ways that we end up falling into, especially I think if you take a dip in your salon, the quietest months for me personally is usually February and October time. I think it was very easy to start panicking and thinking, should I put a discount on?
Yeah.
Should I try and lower my prices to get more clients in? Me personally, I've done it in the past.
Yeah.
Do I think, would I do it now? No.
Yeah, you want to avoid discounts as
No.
like your default
Yeah.
for them quieter months.
Yeah.
January for me is quiet, but I'm going to, instead of doing a discount, I'm going to do discounted treatments for filming days.
That's a fantastic idea.
So I'm not, it's not coming across that I'm quiet and I need clients and I'm, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just quiet because everyone's just being in.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
it is for me. But I'm going to get them a little bit of a discount on the treatment, but
Because
I'm
you
going to have
want
me
it to
set
be
up and I'm going to get
you
the
want it to make
content.
Yeah.
I'll film it, and then on some days when I am quiet, I can sit and edit it all.
Yeah.
And then that's all my content done. And that's what will then in turn attract new clients.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously you can add things in, like instead of doing like a discount, add things in that are said like free consultations, or you
Yeah.
can get a mini product sample or something like that. So if they're coming for a free consultation, instead of just talking about them, you can put some brow makeup on them.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're probably going to then maybe sell a brow treatment, not only a brow treatment, but a brow product or makeup products or whatever you're selling. And it's giving them a recommendation. And if you are quieter, because we all fall into this where we end up being so busy, especially around Christmas times, you end up being so busy. I sometimes feel bad if I've got new clients coming in at Christmas, I have not physically got the time to sit and talk to them about what I think's best for their brows and their consultation. We expect them to know what they want because they
Yeah.
need to get you in and out. If you're quieter, then you have got that time a little bit more to spend talking to them, advising them what to do with their brows, find out exactly what they want. Therefore, you can then sell them a treatment or a product or upgrade them to something else.
Yeah, cross-sell different
Yes.
treatments that you do.
Yeah.
Or like when you're busy, you might just with brows, you do your finish and your makeup and stuff, show them, then they're done.
They're gone, yeah.
If you're quiet, it might be that you give them mirror and let them watch what you're doing.
Yes.
To try sell that product. Or, there's different ways without just thinking, shit, 50% off all treatments.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because if I saw 50% off all treatments, I'd think, are they shutting down?
Well, it might not be 50. That were a bit dramatic.
Yeah, but if you saw it in a shop, if you walk past somewhere and it said 50%, I'd think they're going bust.
They're going.
They're going bankrupt.
Yeah.
They're going under. It's true though,
But
isn't
yeah.
it? You'd think closing down sale.
Usually 50% off closing down. I can see it signing me
I
head.
can. Yeah, bright red.
But you want to look kind of annually at your prices as well. So, like we've said, that's your homework this week. Figure out your prices on one of your treatments. But it doesn't just end there. Like, you need to be doing it every year.
Yeah.
Even if you notice that there's a lot of shift in your product cost, you might want to do it like every 6 months to ensure that you are staying on top of your profit and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything can fluctuate. Things might come down. But...
Let's all up. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Have confidence as well in your prices. Like, it is easy, especially if you've got an intimidating client or whatever, or somebody who is quite entitled. We get all them clients and we just want to strangle them sometimes. But when they come in and they're like, how much? How much is that? I've had clients stand before at reception desk and, the girls who have been taking their bill, they've actually said to them, what? Like, how much? If there's been a £2, very, very small amount of people, but if there's been like £2 or £1 or whatever, what? How much is that? And I think, it's £1. Like, and then you have to stand and explain to them why. But have the confidence in yourself and in the products and the treatment that you're providing to think, yeah, I am worth that. And if you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. I am so not, and this comes with obviously experience and confidence, and I think, confidence in what you're doing yourself. But I am not embarrassed or ashamed to tell anybody my prices. No. And I would stand in front of them at the reception desk and be like, yep, that's the price.
And if you feel like you do get a bit tongue-tied sometimes, then practice saying, like, your prices or your policies. Like, you've all seen that meme where it's in mirror and it's like they're talking to it like that. But just practice just physically saying it out loud.
Yep.
And, like, having confidence in what you're saying. Because if someone says, oh, how much is it for... and oh, let me just have a look.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh, it might be that. Oh, well, you don't. You know, like, and sometimes you kind of see them. And I used to do this years ago. I'd tell somebody one price, and I'd kind of like look at them and think, oh, but I didn't really do that much. It's like this with HG Brows. I used to be like, I could do the whole same treatment, but I'd think, oh, well, I haven't really took a lot of hair, even though I've done all the same steps as what I would with a first-time client. I haven't really took a lot of hair off, so I'll just charge them a bit less. No. Absolutely not. No. Or if you're charging cheaper because they've had the nails done and they've had a clear gel on instead of a full gel, you're still gelling them.
Yeah.
So, like, no cheaper prices or whatever. And I think as well, if you are upping your prices and you are charging, you know, this for them, you have got to make sure that everything, if you are going to charge premium, you need to offer and it to actually be premium.
Yeah, you can't offer a premium service and then use, I'm not going to say any in particular brand, there's not one that springs to mind, but then use crap products.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's
like going for a facial, but then they're using E45.
Yeah,
what?
Like you've just paid £125 for an hydrofacial or whatever, and they're charging. Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
They're using some.
You can't, if you're going to charge premium. The products that you're using for that service need to be premium.
Yeah, and it's like anything that you'll have heard this saying before, especially if you're from UK. You get what you pay for.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yes.
So if you pay good for it, you'll get good quality. So make sure that is, you know, is to the highest standard,
Reframe how you're talking to your clients about your prices as well. So it's not just a facial, for example.
Yeah.
It's a 90-minute facial.
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to do your brows.
Like, so could say this treatment isn't just a facial, it's a 90-minute stress relief and skin health transformation. That would have gobful.
So you could use them on, like, if you don't want to say it out loud or whatever, use them on, like, your captions and stuff like that. Like,
price lists or, you know, any POS in salon or like brows. Yeah, I'm not just coming for brow lamination.
Yeah.
You're having X, Y, and Z. You're going to get a soothing mask. You're going to get this that's enriched with this and this. Because that automatically just feels like it's got more value added than a brow lam. And then we've already given you your homework for this week.
Yes, we have.
We've already given you it.
But let's remind you of it. This week, you need to calculate. Find out what your most popular treatment is. Just do one. Just one, right? If you don't want to do a lot, you know, just do one. Your most popular treatment. Calculate how much it costs you per treatment.
You'll be surprised.
Your time. Yeah. Let's see how much it's costing you and how much profit you're gaining from that.
And if you've got any questions or if you do work out and you want to let us know, not how much you're making, you don't have to disclose that information. But if you want to drop us a message or anything like that and just say, oh my God, I've just figured out I'm massively undercharging or whatever it is, drop us a message. And if you share anything on social, be sure to use this little hashtag we've got for this season.
Please use, which one is it? WTP, hashtag WTP Beauty School. That is our new hashtag for this season.
Hashtag of the season.
Hashtag. Beauty School. Hashtag.
But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. I hope we've not fried your brains with any of these calculations and stuff. But we will be back next week, and I did lie earlier, so I said we were talking about client retention next week,
and it's not. It's week after.
It's week after.
He just wanted to shut me up.
So if you didn't listen to end of this episode, it's going to be a bummer when you tune in next week and it's about something different, innit? But episode 4, we're going to dive into social media strategies to help you market these perfectly priced treatments.
Excited for it.
So we'll see you next week, babbies.
See you for our next lesson.
Yes.
Of WTB Beauty School.
School's out.
School's out. It is recess. Stay booked, busy, and blessed. And keep away from them boys in playground.
Wow. Bye.
Bye.